From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy Trojan Vision Weekly.
Hello and welcome to Troy Trojan Vision Weekly. We're glad you joined us for this look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Later this month, the National Memorial for Peace and Justice will open in Montgomery. A big part of the memorial will focus on lynchings and the terror associated with the act. A Troy University class is helping add to the memorial with a project that sent them to one of the sites of those lynchings. Antonia Reese explains why.
Over the weekend, one Troy University professor led her class to help dig up a little history. Dr. Catherine Tucker, alongside a few of her students from her African American experience class, visited a known lynching site of Jericho Shivers, a man who was lynched in Coffee County, Alabama, believed to be on May 18, 1895.
We are collecting soil that will be added to the Equal Justice Initiative Museum and Memorial to Lynching. They are having people collect soil from lynching sites all over the South to commemorate those individuals who are often accused of crimes that they did not commit, were not given any kind of trial or justice, so we're hoping to commemorate those individuals, and also to help people understand the impact of lynching and racial violence on the world that we live in today.
Tucker, alongside her students, gathered soil samples that will be added to a number of other samples in a museum set to commemorate past African Americans that were lynched across the state. A few students expressed how they felt aiding in the project.
This project is so amazing that we get to come out here and just be a small part of something that's way bigger than ourselves. Just getting to experience the lives of people that we have never met, know anything about, but we get to learn about them out here and just be a part of something that's way bigger than ourselves.
I feel like this is a very special occasion. I feel like I'm a part of a big history part. It might not have been big to the people around here, but it's kind of big to me because Black history means a lot to a lot of people, and it actually means a lot to me too.
A soil sample is also collected to be displayed in Lurleen B. Wallace Library in its own exhibit. Antonia Reese, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Growing tensions with other nations might be keeping people up at night, worried about our country's security and general safety as it pertains to international relations. Well, Wednesday night, a man with plenty of experience in national security and intelligence visited the capital city to give some advice to help people decide what should take top priority. Madison Neal has more from our Montgomery News Bureau.
On Wednesday night, the Alabama World Affairs Council addressed the issue of global security. And the topic was led by General Michael Hayden, the only person to serve as both head of the CIA and the National Security Agency.
President Trump's administration has put out some documents, a national security strategy from the White House, and they've actually made the case that terrorism remains a problem, but we now need to begin to shift more of our attention in the direction of state actors and dangers from, frankly, more traditional threats.
And General Hayden gave attendees at the Troy University Montgomery campus a guide of how to handle this tsunami of information being thrown at them about global security.
Maybe suggest a way of thinking about the world, a framework, all right, that you can use, a lens that you might want to have.
To make it simple, Hayden summarized the top threats to global security.
2017, year of disruption. 2018 and forward, years of consequences. And here I'm going to look at specific things that are coming at us, and I'll probably take them in the order of how quickly I think they'll arrive. So it'll be Korea, it'll be Iran, terrorism, Russia, and then I'll talk a little bit about China.
And with all of these concerns for security, student Madison Castle explains why it is important to stay informed.
I think it's important to learn from the people who have done this before us so that we can go forward and take these positions, take jobs, and like they say, we're going to be the ones running the country. So I think it's important that we know what we're doing and are able to do that intelligently and informed.
Hayden drew a sellout crowd to the Alabama World Affairs Council meeting with around 150 people in attendance. In Montgomery, Madison Neal, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
The hard work and effort of Troy University staff members is recognized once a quarter with the McKinley Award. Antonia Reese introduces us to the most recent recipient of the award.
This afternoon, Annie Percy was named the top employee of the quarter at Troy University. Percy is an English as a second language teacher in the Center for International Programs. Percy says she was surprised to win the award.
First of all, I'm shocked. I'm very honored. There are so many great people that have won this award before me, and it's just a privilege to be honored by your peers.
In addition to the McKinley Award, Troy University recognizes milestones in the careers of employees. traditionally for every 5 years of service, but at this ceremony, one individual was recognized for 50 years at Troy University. Nick DeAndrea.
I came to Troy when I was 24 and a half years old with a PhD. I've been here ever since. I've been offered 3 jobs to leave, but I've thoroughly enjoyed the students, and I wanted to stay, and it's just been very fulfilling. But I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed the students and the faculty and the staff that I've worked with. It's just been a real big family.
Antonio Reese, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
The end of a school year at Troy University means the end of the current executive council for Troy Student Government Association. And Tuesday night, the SGA held a celebration at the International Arts Center to commemorate all the senators' hard work. Seth Hawk has more.
Tuesday night, Troy Student Government Association held their annual SGA banquet in order to celebrate what SGA has accomplished for the 2017-2018 school year. Along with senators being honored, the SGA Executive Council was honored during this banquet as well. And according to SGA President Ashley Morris, this year has been a great experience for her.
It's been amazing. It's been so much more than I expected in an amazing way, in a good way. I've gained so much more from this than I thought I would, and I've had so many more opportunities to engage with students and really make an impact and a difference, and that really means the world to me.
With the year coming to an end, a new SGA president will take charge, and according to Morris, she has a good feeling about her successor.
I'm very excited about Gus because this is his second time succeeding me. He succeeded me as freshman forum director as well his sophomore year, and so I know great things are in store for him. He's a strong leader. He carries different leadership qualities and characteristics than I do, and I think that's something that's very important for an organization, not to have the same types of leaders.
As the sun sets on the former SGA Executive Council, the sun will rise on the new one. And according to SGA President-elect Gus McKenzie, he is ready for his reign.
I'm excited to get started. I'm ready to close this chapter with Ashley. She's been an incredible SGA president. Ready to see tonight her just honored and the rest of the SGA that have served this university this year. It's just been awesome to watch her do it.
McKenzie says that there's one thing in particular that he is excited about being able to do during his presidency.
I'm most excited to be able to sit in on the Board of Trustees. I'm very excited to represent the students there. I'll be the only student in the room, so I'll be the only perspective that gets to be in the room for the student side. Very excited to be able to portray all of our needs and wants because I feel like I have the voice that can be heard in that aspect.
McKenzie and the new SGA Executive Council will be sworn into office on April 23rd. Seth Hawk, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll get a look at the giant new video board in Veterans Memorial Stadium. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
Troy football fans will have a new way to experience all the action in Veterans Memorial Stadium this fall, as a massive new video board will sit atop a new north end zone facility in the stadium. And even though the project is still a few months away from completion, the scoreboard is already fired up. Janae Jordan gives us a look.
Last season, the Trojan fans broke records at Veterans Memorial Stadium, coming out to cheer on the Trojans. And with more fans, there's a need for more space for not only the fans, but for the athletes and the coaching staff. So the athletic department decided to add a new north end zone to accommodate everyone's needs.
The north end zone project for us, it's about a $25 million project that started almost 15 months ago now, and we're nearing completion. We should finish the project in the summer, but it's going to be, for the most part, it's a football operations building that will serve our football team, a locker room, athletic training space, strength and conditioning, nutrition, team space, meeting rooms, coaches' offices, really a space that we've needed for many years.
The new north end zone will be equipped with a new video board, seating, concession, and a club area for premium members.
On top of the building, again, we've created a new video board on top of that building, which is going to be a great addition to our in-game environment. Under that video board is a concessions, high-end concession, a club area to go along with about 400 premium seats we're going to have in that end zone. And so it'll be a ticketed area where the people, season ticket holders who have tickets will be really the only people allowed up there.
As you can see behind me, construction for the new north end zone is still taking place. It is set to be finished in the summertime, and there will be a grand opening for the north end zone against Boise State at the first home game at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
We've got a great home schedule. I think we're going to be in a position to have another successful year. Our coaches and our students are working really hard right now to prepare themselves for the fall, and so I'm excited about this season coming up.
Troy University is looking to update more areas of the athletic department as needed. As of now, the main focus is to finish the north end zone. Janae Jordan, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
On Tuesday morning, students received some business advice from a young man who not only runs a successful business, but is also a Troy University student. Paige Weeks has the details.
Students interested in becoming entrepreneurs had an opportunity to learn what it takes in a Geek Speak series featuring Aaron Wilhite. Wilhite is a student at Troy University who kick-started his own video production business.
I thought it was really important for the students to see somebody who is their age and who is like in their spot right now and who actually took the initiative to be an entrepreneur and who actually is doing it right now while he's a student.
Throughout his lecture, Wilhite spoke about his use of social media, bartering, and also the idea of quality over quantity.
On Facebook Marketplace, there's a section called free. You can go to those free things, get the items, and sell them without buying anything. And so that's the key, is that you just have to be willing to put in the work and put in the time in order to do that.
Although the idea of beginning a business by yourself may be intimidating, Wilhite says it is important to remember your existing strengths.
So if you're good at painting, but you're not good at, watercolors, like be good at, that specific style that you do. And if you put all of your effort into that, then that's when you'll see progress flow.
Even with the success of his business, Wilhite says he is not afraid of failure.
Even if all of this failed and I had to submit a resume to a job, they would be so happy to see that I'm able to make money for the company rather than just my GPA.
Troy University student athletes had an opportunity to work on some of the skills necessary to find a job or internship at an event Tuesday night. Seth Carpenter shows us how.
This is something we've been thinking about doing for a long time.
Tuesday night, student athletes had a chance to mingle with employers in the first ever athletics networking night. There, students were able to talk with employers and see what positions they had open. But before that, students did one-on-one mock interviews with the employers.
Prior to the mixer, we actually did individual mock interviews with the employers, and it's to build their confidence so they can have a practice session, and it's also to get some reactions from the employers to help improve their interview skills.
And during these mock interviews, employers were giving out tips on how to interview for a job.
Really, when it comes to interviews, right, there's a lot of different types out there, but it's really being honest, making sure your best qualities are coming forward in your interview. In an interview, you have 15, 20, 30 minutes to really show the employer what you're about, what you have to offer, and the confidence and how you dress and how you present yourself is a huge player in that.
After the event was over, I got the chance to ask a couple of students what their biggest takeaway from the event was.
Being comfortable, just talking to people who you might not know all that well, being able to speak confidently and even talk about light things, just to get to know someone and understand what their company or business is all about.
I was able to take away several networking connections from this event alone, and so I now have the opportunity to look forward to applying for jobs in the Troy, Birmingham, and all the areas that were represented here tonight.
Seth Carpenter, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Drinking water is an everyday necessity, but to some around the world, it can pose a serious health risk. One on-campus organization is helping raise funds to help take away some of that risk to residents of Haiti. Lauren Harkson shows us how.
On
On most days, you can expect to see students on campus raising money for their clubs and organizations. But on Wednesday, the Rotaract Club chose to raise money for something different: people in need.
Our big goal this semester is to raise money for Water for Life, which is an organization trying to provide clean and healthy water for places in the world that don't have it. We're trying to get them, clean water. We're trying to help Water for Life.
By selling raffle and event tickets throughout the week, the members are using their influence to help those in more of a need than themselves.
My favorite part is being able to think about others. We're so busy with our own homeworks and schedules and exams that it feels good to think about other people and think about what we can do for them.
In addition to raising money and awareness for those in need, as an international club, Rotaract hopes to bring together the local and international students of Troy University.
One of our missions is that we want to bring people together, and we've done that, and we've done that successfully, But to have, just broaden the way you think and have a better perspective on the world, have a more international perspective, that's super important. I can't emphasize that enough.
They help other cultures and other people learn about each other and learn how to get along with other people, not just Americans.
To purchase a raffle or event ticket from the Rotaract Club, you can visit the Trojan Center through Friday, April 13th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Lauren Harkson, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Take another quick break, but when we come back, Troy students put their cooking skills to the test in a competition inspired by the Food Network. You'll want to catch all the action right after this.
It's the Talk of Troy. Voices and sounds from the campuses of Troy University.
These students are amazing, and they don't really know it, and we want to celebrate that.
Join us for the Talk of Troy, Fridays at 8:45 a.m. and 3:44 p.m., and Sundays at 4:35 p.m. on Troy Public Radio.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be tornado next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
The Food Network show Chopped gives professional chefs a random basket of ingredients with which they have to create a meal. Troy's dining services decide to give students a chance to see if they have what it takes to not be chopped with their own version of the competition. Yolanda Allen gives us a look at the first night of the 3-day contest.
4 groups competed in the first round of Chop University in Trojan Dining Hall Monday night in the appetizer round.
We named it Chop University to kind of have a little fun twist on it. There's university students competing. And so the fun part is that most of these students are doing it for fun. They don't really have, a true knowledge of cooking, but they're just doing it because how many times do you get to say, hey, I competed in a university level of chops? So that's the exciting part of it. It's just seeing all these creative minds come together like this.
Not every group had a special plan to follow through with.
We just figured we would see the ingredients we got and then everyone put in their input on what we should do and just kind of go from there.
Some group members feel accomplished of their dish that they made in such a little time.
We didn't come in very confident. We were just risking it for the biscuit. So I think we did pretty well.
I think it turned out really good, really well. None of us really going in had a whole lot of cooking experience, so that we were able to produce a dish like that. I think we did really well. I was confident.
Even though Chop University is a competition, some would love to do it again.
Yes, I wish we could.
Definitely.
After the first round, one group had to go, and it happens to be the Rotaracts. Yolanda Allen, Troy Vision News.
Troy students got their first look at what next year's Trojan football team is going to look like on Friday afternoon as the team held a scrimmage in Veterans Memorial Stadium, but also took time to recognize their biggest cheering section. Janae Jordan has the details.
On Friday afternoon, the Troy University football team held its student appreciation scrimmage game to give away prizes to students and for the football team to show off what they have been working on since spring practice started.
Fun day. Had a really good student turnout. Appreciate all the Greek life showing up before they went down to the Greek Week finals. So, I don't know what the final count was, but we had a good number here. Beautiful day. It's kind of one of your normal spring practice days.
The student appreciation game included tickets to the Battle of the Belt game, a punt, pass, and kick competition, a raffle for a free Yeti cooler, and free Troy gear.
I had a good experience. It was really fun watching the boys get to practice and kind of scrimmage against each other. I got the chance to call a play for the offensive team, so it was really fun.
After winning the Sun Belt Conference Tournament, the New Orleans Bowl, and the big game against LSU last season, the students are looking forward to seeing what the Trojans have in store for this football season.
I had a really good experience this year at the football games. I got to go to the LSU game, so that was really fun. That was probably my favorite football game this season, and I'm really excited for next year's football season.
The Trojans will host their annual T-Day spring game on Saturday, April 21st at noon. Janae Jordan, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
The International Student Cultural Organization spends their Thursday nights teaching students about the cultures of countries represented at Troy. However, as Lamaria Sampson shows us, the specific topics discussed at the ISCO meetings have changed a little.
Thursday night, the International Student Cultural Organization held a discussion about youth in Egypt. The topics range from what it's like to go to school there down to what they like to do for fun.
ISCO is the International Student Cultural Organization. Today's event was about Egypt and youth in Egypt, how they grow, how's their life like when going to school, how they pass their free time. We just wanted to kind of give a feel to the people here about how we grew up and similarities, differences, and just show them how in doing that, showing them how Egypt actually is.
In the past, ISCO would have general presentations about countries. However, this year, the topics have gotten more specific.
This year we did it different. We tried to choose one certain topic. So we have like stories from a country, or movies in a country, or schools in a country, or wedding in a country. And it's just a way to show a culture of a country, but also be like specific enough to engage with people and have them relate to that culture.
ISCO seeks to create a healthy environment for students to come and learn about different countries and their cultures.
It's a good opportunity for American students and the international students on campus to just gather and get to know one another and to come together as a community, because I feel like that's very important at Troy, because that's what Troy stands for as our international university, is peace and love and acceptance, and we want to show that here on campus through ISCO.
Lamaria Sampson, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
It's time for our last break. When we return, we'll check out how Troy University's Greek Week competitions wrapped up. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
See if you remember this story. All summer long, the grasshopper sang and dined at his leisure with no thought for tomorrow. Meanwhile, the industrious ants kept their bulbous compound eyes focused on building success for the future. Then when fall came, the grasshopper had to struggle, and the ants enjoyed plenty and prosperity, probably in a corner office on the top floor with a place at the lake to boot. Think like an ant this summer. Build on your success with summer classes at Troy University. Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
Greek Week had fraternities and sororities battling it out in a number of events all of last week. However, one competition allowed the groups to show off their musical talents, all without actually having to sing a note. Aaron Dixon shows us how.
On Thursday night, fraternities and sororities from all over Troy's campus gathered to compete in Greek Sing, and one of the hosts was even able to go into more detail on the event.
Tonight was Greek Sing, and what Greek Sing is all about is our organization's putting together a 2 to 3 minute dance competition that they have to lip sing with, and it turned out to be an awesome event. We had a lot of crowd participation, and we're just really happy with the way that it all turned out.
These groups were able to put their best dance moves forward, and a couple of the contestants were even able to talk about their experience performing.
This was my first time in any dance.
And so just hearing the crowd cheer, it was super hype.
It was fun, but it was nerve-wracking.
Summers was also able to talk about the amount of time and work they put into this performance.
We've been practicing for the past 3 weeks, 5 days a week, until like 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, we practiced a lot.
Greek Sing had people cheering on their favorite performances, and one member of the audience was even able to go into more detail on what made the performances so special.
The dances were really good, and everybody put their heart and soul on those mats, and I really enjoyed the dances.
Greek Sing showcased popular songs and dance moves, but now the fraternities and sororities will focus their attention to Friday, where they will all compete in the annual Greek Games. Whether it be High School Musical or whether it be Lip Sync Battle, Greek Sing had it all, where sororities and fraternities from all over campus gathered to dance their heart out. Aaron Dixon, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
All of the Greek Week activities wrapped up with was probably the most physical of all of the challenges. Nick Brooks has the story.
The Greek Games was the only event going on Friday for Greek Week. Greek Week Executive Director Justin Buford wanted to bring a new look to the Greek Games, one that would help connect Greek life.
This year we decided to switch things up because in the past we've done the same thing over and over again. You know, Greek Games is a fun time. It's like competition between the organizations, but in reality we want it to like bring, you know, good friendly competition and like unity and get to like interact with other organizations that you don't get on a daily basis.
It was a unanimous decision on how Greeks felt the committee did on the Greek Games.
The committee did a great job. Everything was very well coordinated. All the games were really fun. It was a good change up from what we've done in the past.
It's a lot different than the way it was last year, but it was a cool twist.
They mixed it up this year from past years and more interesting, more entertaining.
I think that they did really good with picking new things, a lot more different things than last year.
The Greek Games concluded the events where fraternities and sororities could compete. The games included a relay race with numerous obstacle courses and a game of tug of war.
Buford and the other executive director, Sophie Gelibert, thought of the relay race on their own and kept it a surprise for everyone until the game started.
We pulled just different like events from like college life, really, like tailgating, like cornhole, and then we put some inflatables, like a Spartan run, you know, that's what we based it off of.
It was a split decision among Greeks on what the most challenging part of the relay race was, a decision between grossness or teamwork.
The food challenge, there was ketchup on a marshmallow, and it just looked really disgusting, and there was a lot of it to eat.
The part that involved 2 people, because all of the other obstacles just involve 1 person.
By far, the eating challenges was pretty gross.
The skis, because our guys had to work together to get through it. They stumbled a time or two.
The eating contest with the marshmallows and ketchup.
Chi Omega and Alpha Tau Omega brought home the hardware as they took home first place individually for Greek Week. Nick Brooks, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Bingo may conjure up images of little old ladies sitting in a community center waiting eagerly for the right number to be called. However, on Wednesday night, the ones waiting to yell bingo were a little bit younger as the University Activities Council offered Troy students a chance to win some prizes. Stuart Bradley has the story.
On Wednesday night, students were invited to participate in the UAC's Bingo Night, where students competed in various forms of the game in order to win some prizes.
We have, regular bingo games. We'll play, classic, horizontal, vertical, diagonal, blackout, X's, L's, whatever kind of game you can think of on a bingo night game. And then we also give away prizes.
With the allure of prizes on the line, things tended to get pretty intense, especially when some students were nearing the elusive bingo. Much banter, small chatter, and even some shouts could be heard.
It got really, really competitive. Several of our games were close, and anytime where the students are enjoying themselves and they're actually getting the prizes that they wanted for the game that they played, it's always a good night.
Prizes range from food gift cards, Barnes & Noble gift cards, headphones, portable phone chargers, and even a bed comforter.
It was pretty intense, especially for the prizes that were more expensive, the $20 gift card to Flo's, or the Barnes & Noble gift cards, and even the portable chargers, because everybody's phone's going dead throughout the day, so they come in handy.
And despite the fact that only a handful of students win each time, UAC Bingo has become extremely popular and is often demanded to be brought back again and again.
This is one of our most popular events, so we host it every semester, and it's just really for the enjoyment of the students. It's one of the events that they request the most, so we love to put it on for them.
We also like to hear from our students and what kind of events they like, and so Bingo Night is usually one of the ones that they do like seeing return to campus, so we kind of like to have input from our students.
Stuart Bradley, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
And that's what happened this week. We hope you join us again next week for another edition of Troy Trojan Vision Weekly. We hope you have a good week.